What is up, everyone? Welcome to this Secret Restaurant podcast. I'll be your host for this journey through space and time. My name is Nate Hoyle, recording live here in the Quad City metropolitan area, standing in a standstill, in a standoff between the weird and the square. Seeing a noble gatekeeper, a noble watchman, standing between the weird and the square and trying to understand how we can all come together. I do feel like I lost myself for a minute. You got to find your people, the people that you relate to, because if you're only spending time with people who don't like you or don't think you're funny or think that anyone who says something that they haven't heard before in a way that they cannot register, they think that you're a supervillain. And that seems to happen here in the Quad Cities, which is apparently 60% law enforcement, whether they carry the badge or not. You know how many times I've been scowled at since I've been home? It's like, you don't need to scowl at me. And then sometimes I'll see people scowl at other people. And you know what? I think you and I both know why that might be. There's a short list. I do know that breweries used to be a cool place where the outsiders could come together and enjoy the not so popular craft beer. But these days, it seems like whenever I go there, maybe the cool people just grew up, or maybe the squares just discovered that it's okay to drink craft beer because it used to be not cool. I don't know. How do you say that? It used to be not popular. People be like, oh, you must be a beer snob. You must be a craft beer enthusiast, hipster douchebag. But now, it's become more regulated. Not regulated. It's become more normal. And so now when you go to a brewery, the dudes who look like they want to be head coaches of a football team, they don't like anyone different than them, and they give them a little glare when they walk by. And I'm talking about glaring at me. But it's not just at breweries, It's pretty much when I go to a lot of places. Pretty fucking sick of it.
God damn it, who the fuck is that tall, handsome man over there? Why is he walking in such a slick, rhythmic way?
Had a little band practice yesterday, and I tell you what, we were cutting loose. We were cutting loose on the jams, and it felt good because, like I said, I was having a hard few months, feeling like there was something wrong with me or something. But really, it was mostly because I think in certain places, people are scared to stand out there. And then they start to avoid people who stand out to be alienated themselves. And that's a life lesson for me, You know what I was thinking about, though? It's interesting. I feel like if I went back and redid the last 11 years or whatever, since I graduated undergrad, I made some mistakes. But the one thing I'm confused about now is because I spent all that time writing, and really before that, all I wanted to do was play music. And I know that, like, a lot of times, it's always been on my mind, and I've always picked up a guitar every once in a while. I've got recordings on my computer of pretty much every year since then. Not that they're necessarily useful or usable. But basically, I'm, wondering, why I didn't commit to that more. I think part of it was because I was living in apartments. Part of it's the apartments. But basically, I think that I had a hard time really cutting loose or committing to it, or even just the environment of having people through the walls being able to hear you kind of changed what I was doing. And maybe that's why I leaned towards writing, because you can't hear that. My dog is whining at the door. I don't know if you can hear it, but I just let her out. Literally 10 minutes ago, she was just laying out there. I was going to let her out. Hold on. But yeah, that probably slowed the commitment to it. But also, I feel like I had something where I feel like I was too anxious to sit down and play music or something. And the process of writing is like scribbling, you know. It's more like frantic. You can do it faster. Whereas with playing guitar, there's different tempos. You have to be patient. You have to practice. You have to do things over and over again. And I feel like my sort of anxiousness, restlessness, whatever, made me lean towards writing. But now, it's 11 years later, and, you know, I don't make money writing either. So I wonder what would have happened if I had just committed patiently to playing guitar and whatnot. And whether I would be in a better place than in the Quad Cities, where the squares have circled me. But the funny thing, when I was in Chicago, too, and I was trying to get in that literary scene, I feel like then people thought I was like a straight white male square, you know? It's weird. It's like you're stuck in the middle of that shit.
God damn it, is all you gonna do just whine today? You whiny, tall, handsome.
Was it a part of God's plan? Perhaps. Or did I stray too far? And now God's plan is for me to slowly morph from the weird into the square. One day at a time, slowly flattening on the sides until all sides are the same length. Guys, this is a lesson. Squares all have the same length on each side. If they didn't, it would be a rectangle. And what type of person qualifies as a rectangle? Maybe just a tall, handsome square. Oh. Yeah, I'm torn between leaving and staying, though. I don't know. Because, obviously I've got the music thing revving up. This is the first place that I've kind of had a space to really just practice and be creative in a musical sense. But then the other side of it is that I feel like people think I'm a sea creature here sometimes. People think that I sprouted from somewhere else and then voyaged here to create some sort of spectacle that would be criticized and gossiped about. Done talking about that now. What else? Read through the rest of the submissions for Breakfast 3. So everyone should have heard back about that. And then we'll see how many pages I have. And then we'll see where we go from there. And we'll see how long it will take to put together. And then we'll see you later. We'll see you later. I got a planner. 2026 planner. Because the one thing I needed in order to find success and productivity in this modern world is a paper planner, a book outside of my phone. I hate the calendar on my phone. What it probably is I would go to my planner or my calendar on my phone. I would open it to go on my calendar, and then I would wind up somewhere else in the apps, probably. It's good to separate those things. Right, guys? Prediction is that I will use it for like a week and then forget about it, though. Just as long as I set it with my other notebooks, then maybe it will be useful. Or maybe, you know what the real thing's going to happen is that I won't have anything to do anyway. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to write down, like, to finish the old novel. Here's the deadline that you set for yourself that you'll forget about in a matter of days. Oh, I haven't been reading, so I can't really talk about any books because I'm still waiting on those glasses. That last time I talked to you guys, oh my God, how are you? It's been so long. What have you been up to lately? I don't know if I had my eye appointment yet. So sorry if I already talked about this. I thought I only had one stigmatism, but I actually have two stigmatisms in both eyes. So that's news. I'm going to get my glasses in a couple weeks. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, once I get my glasses, I'm going to be reading voraciously, writing even more voraciously. But, you know, is that just a version of like when you don't start your New Year's resolution until the 1st, when really you could just start it right away? I don't know. We'll see what happens when I actually get them. See if they actually change my productivity. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. No pun intended. I think if anything, it will make me less ADHD because I'll actually be able to look at things as opposed to rapid eye movement but not sleeping. Rapid eye movement wakefulness. That's a coined phrase. First discovered, that's going to be on my Wikipedia page someday. Wakeful rapid eye movement, where your eyes are moving around like you're sleeping, but it's really just because you can't see anything far away. I'm going to timestamp this, keep it posted online for evidence that I came up with it first. Let's come up with something to put in my planner together, guys. I'm going to open it and take a look. Do you guys have any ideas what I should write down? What should I put in my planner? Let's find the day. What is it? The 14th, 15th of January. Let's see. I don't even know the date. What is the date? 15th. Wow. Halfway through January, just like that. Okay, what day is it? It is Thursday. What should I do today? You guys have any ideas? Ooh, I know what. I'll write down record podcast. How about that? Record podcast. Wow. I'm already being productive. What else can I put? How about discover coin medical condition? I.e. wakeful rapid eye movement. You know what? I was hard on myself, but really, I pretty much get real productive these days. These are like I kind of forget how productive I get because I haven't had a planner to write down. If you write down the planner stuff after you did it, is it really a planner though? Oh, that's another idea. How about a planner that you write down what you did after it's already done? What would that be called? It'd be called a post planner. It would be called checklist, post checklist. You know what I'm talking about? I've never really been into planners really because, I'm more of a fan of God's plan. I'm more a fan of listening to what God is saying each day, which usually involves me not doing anything. And when I do tend to go and do things, it ends in catastrophe. So maybe, maybe it was a mistake in this planner. Because it's not God's planner. It's, I found it on Amazon. So it's not going to be God's planner at all. It's actually probably going to be the devil's planner when you think about it. All right, here's a script idea. An evil company creates an app that claims to be God's planner. And basically they begin to send schedules to people saying it's from God, when it's really just from some corporation. That's pretty good. Picture it now would be like, what would be the comparison? It's like that Her movie or kind of the dystopian, utopian, futuristic movies. Severance, perhaps. And then there's like the super calming voice that speaks God's plan through an app. Like, good morning. Today God is smiling down upon you. He wants you to go and buy Fritos. Today God's plan is sponsored by, I don't know. I can't think of any brands. Today God's plan will be brought to you by Taco Bell. That was a lame one. That was an easy one. But they do market like a mofo. Yeah, what else would happen? It's not that far off, though, because it's kind of like those horoscope apps where people check their horoscope app and it's like more vague, but it's like, today you should be restful and avoid eye contact with humans. It's kind of the same thing. It's like a horoscope, but they rebrand it, and then it's like God's plan. But then I'm thinking God's plan in the app, it would start like just normal, like vague things, but then eventually people will become hooked on it, and they wouldn't know what to do without the app, If they don't have the app, they like don't know what to do with their day. But then the corporation, it was all a part of their plan, not God's plan. The corpse plan. They start slipping in evilness into the plan, or start to use it for their own benefit. I like it. I like it a little bit too much. I think rather than making a script about it, I think I'm just gonna make the app. Should I write this in my planner? In my devil's planner? Not God's planner. Oh, let's see, what day was it again? January 15th. There you go. Create app idea. God's planner. Create app idea. God's planner. There you go. I'm running out of things to say, to be honest. Hopefully next time I'll have consumed some words and literature besides just submissions to Breakfast 3. You know what I've been enjoying on YouTube, though, is I've been watching kind of the tour blogs of The Alchemist, the producer, beat maker, business extraordinaire, The Alchemist. I've been watching his tour blogs, and they're pretty fun because most of them are like overseas, in like Canada or wherever. Where's Amsterdam? I can't remember. That was one of them. Germany. But it's mostly just him eating food with his best friends and his tour mates. And it's pretty high production, pretty cool to see. And another thing I like about it, since he's a beat maker who uses samples and whatnot, a lot of them are like him going to record stores and trying to find rare records. Especially like if you go over, I've never been overseas, but my older sibling has brought me albums back from different countries that you probably can't find here. And it's cool to think about going to like random record stores in different countries because they have music that you can sample that other people wouldn't be able to find unless they went there too. So that's part of it. It's not usually a huge thing, but it's like crate digging, as they call it, where you are searching record stores for rare ones. I've enjoyed those. I think I've watched like 5 or 6 of them. And it makes me feel very good about myself sitting in the Quad Cities, in the squarical territory. The square territory. Squaretory. All right, I'm done. Thank you for listening. It really means a lot to me. You are one of the few, online or off, who actually takes the time. So, God bless you.